That's what your shoes sound like on the court, you fat motherfucker.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
All right, so with that, now we can just get into the last thing of football I want to talk about, which, does include the Cardinals. Let's just go into some frauds and surprises.
Yes.
Now that we have wrapped up the NFL regular season.
Let's do it.
And the main reason I wanted to bring this up was the motherfucking Cardinals. Because they really had people thinking there was a real team just for them to take the mask off and they're the fucking Raiders.
Oh, I can't do.
Damn, you ever see the GIF when the man's had the mask on, pull it up?
Oh, and it stings.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't do that to them.
No,
though.
I can because look at how we were all, including you, the way we were talking about them in the first half of the season, bro.
Mm-hmm.
To them doing the Raiders, basically going 1-5 through the end.
But they still had a chance. They still controlled their own destiny. They had a chance to get to the playoffs if they won.
And they folded how many games down the stretch? Not if they won. They fucking folded.
I get that, but at the same time,
Fraud watch.
at the same time, if Kyler Murray plays, we're not saying fraud watch. They lose that
regardless
game.
fraud watch.
How?
Regardless fraud, because it's not
But
just
you
that one
can't-
game.
they go
It's
into the-
not just that one game.
You go into the playoff. Nobody was saying they're going to be this Super Bowl winner.
There was 5-3 in their
They
first
should have
8
made the
games.
playoffs.
There was 5-3 in their first 8 games and 3-5 in their last 8 games.
Fraud watch.
So if they go, let's say 4-5, if Kyler plays and they go to the playoffs, then what?
I mean,
they still get to the playoffs. Nobody expected them to win the division.
I expected
team-
them
They
to
were
get
going
to,
in as a
I
wild card
expected them to
team.
get to the playoffs.
I'm not gonna lie. Their last 7 games of the season, they didn't beat it. They
did
beat,
not look good.
They beat the Giants. They beat the Eagles. 2 teams that finished below 500.
Who'd they lose to?
We'll get to the Giants. They lost to the Seahawks, Patriots, Rams twice, and the 49ers.
So 3
They
divisions.
lost to the 49ers with who at quarterback?
And was Nick Mullins still there?
Yes.
No, it's the CJ Beathard, bro.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and they were up in another one of those losses.
49ers is that Kyle Shanahan is a pretty good coach.
Honestly, I don't think Kyle Shanahan's getting enough credit for how he has those boys playing because every single week it seems like they play somebody tough and they have nobody healthy on their roster.
And they play niggas tough. Like literally, they
Yeah.
play niggas tough
But
every week.
I feel like it was in some game they were fucking down. I mean, they were up in at least one or two of those games that they lost.
So that's all right. So that's what I understand what you guys are saying about like how they finished the season, right? But my question is, if Kyler Murray is healthy Sunday and they win, because they would have won if Kyler Murray's the quarterback. Like they just had no answer for Kyler Murray they had no plan for if Kyler Murray couldn't play, which I think is
Okay,
bad
what's
on
the
them.
excuse for the defense?
They gave up 18 points? They
To
didn't.
who? Who was their quarterback?
Well, John, look at it. They didn't give up an offensive touchdown. The touchdown came off a pick 6. So realistically speaking, they only gave up 3 field goals? That's 9 points. 9 points. You should be able to win a game with 9 points. If your defense holds that team to 9 points, Kyler Murray can get you 10 points.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I also think that the defense has folded in more than enough games before this one.
I just don't think that the difference in this game wasn't the defense, because the defense did what they were supposed to do.
But I'm not talking about them being frauds just because of this game. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying but if they make the playoffs, are you still calling them frauds because they finished exactly where we would say
because the way, especially in the beginning of the season, we looked at their roster in the beginning of the season, the way Kyler Murray ended last season, we were like, this should be a playoff team.
Yes.
And they were in charge of their own destiny.
Yes.
And fucking folded. Not just this past week.
But they were
not just this past week.
I get that. But they were also in control of their own destiny, and if they win, they're in. But you can't predict your starting quarterback to go down.
But you could predict fucking beating the Rams with the 49ers with who at quarterback.
That's fair. It's fraud watch. I'm not arguing but everybody has a bad loss.
Bro, it is fraud watch.
Like the Rams lost.
The Patriots are not a good team.
They're not.
They're
I'm not saying
they lost the Patriots too.
They had a few bad losses on their schedule. I'm just saying.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody has. I mean, is there a team that does not have a bad loss?
Again, I'm talking about the second half of the season. They were not a good team.
I get that.
Fraud watch.
I understand.
If Kyler, here's the thing.
Stop bringing up the last game.
I'm telling you, can't not bring up the last game.
Because I'm literally saying it's not about the last game. It's about the whole half of the end half of the season. They were not a good team the last half of the season.
They were not.
And that's what I'm saying.
But we see teams that are not.
The projections we had coming in
was a wild card team, and they were
and
on.
they weren't.
They were on pace to be a wild card team.
They weren't.
Who wasn't?
They were not a wild card team, JT. They didn't make the fucking wild card.
Why didn't they win? Why didn't they win the wild card, John?
JT,
why didn't they get the wild card?
Why didn't they win the other fucking games that they
Why
should have?
didn't they get the wild card?
I love it.
Why didn't they win the other games they should have?
John,
I love
John,
it. I love
why
it.
didn't they get the wild
Because
card?
they kept fucking losing,
No.
JT.
Come on now. Come on. You lose your starting quarterback?
They shouldn't have been in that position in the first place, is what I'm saying. They shouldn't have been in that position to just have that last game be it.
Where else was it going to go? We talked about how the NFC West was tight. We talked about like
they could have beat the Patriots. They could have beat the Rams at least once. They could have beat the 49ers. They could have beat the Dolphins.
Dolphins, another team that was on the verge of a playoff. Like those are like the only bad loss there is the Niners. You just you just said they lost. One is a playoff team and one is a team that won 9 games, right? Above 500. That was in the mix up until the last week of the season. Those aren't bad losses. The only bad loss I really see is to the Niners, which I agree with you. That is a terrible loss because of who the Niners have running out there. I agree.
JT, that should have been a playoff team. Everyone thought that was going to be a playoff team. And what were they? Not a playoff team. And it was more than just this last game why they weren't a playoff team.
You are what your record says you are.
So who is the non-playoff?
And they were 8-8. And as far as I'm concerned, that, my friends, is mid.
Oh man!
Next fraud team.
So who's the non-fraud team that made the playoffs? Who's the fraud team that made the playoffs in the NFC then?
Oh, the football team.
That's a division team. We can't not have a division.
Well,
I'm sorry. They that's the problem with the playoffs in the NFL, that you have a team that takes up a playoff spot, but at the same time, the Cardinals. We said we didn't think they were going to win the division because the division was coming either from the Seahawks or the Rams, right?
We didn't know who was winning that shit.
Which it did. So we thought they was wild card team.
Fraud team that made the playoffs? The Bears.
Oh, yeah.
It is true.
Low key.
The Rams.
But I guess
the Rams are a fucking fraud team. That's another fraud team.
I mean, we thought about everybody's a fraud team except for the freaking Bills and the Chiefs.
Not everyone.
Honestly, and
No.
the Packers.
Not everyone's a fraud team. The Rams. I shout out. I
mean,
feel
the
like
Rams,
it's not Sean McVay's fault.
I mean,
either.
the Rams.
I don't blame Sean McVay.
How not Sean McVay's fault?
I don't fully blame Sean
How not Sean
McVay.
McVay's fault?
It's not Sean McVay's fault.
I don't think it's fully Sean McVay's fault.
That his quarterback
Yeah,
is...
that Jared Goff. You don't know what fucking
The
Jared Goff
same
you're going to
quarterback.
get?
Did he not just take him to the Super Bowl?
They took him to
So
the
we
Super Bowl.
know he can do it. Of course, I'm not going to
So
give him
the
a
one
pass.
season that they overachieved?
Yes. Says now you show me that you can overachieve. Overachieve again, nigga. If you so good and you so young.
Nah, because the
And
expectation...
Jared Goff didn't. He didn't play any better than he did that year. That was his best year. See, even Le'Veon's had enough.
Even Le'Veon
Le'Veon
said, I can't breathe.
Le'Veon's sick of your shit, John. Nah. But look, the Rams, did the Rams not lose to the Niners too? I remember at home, did the Rams not lose to the Jets too?
Frauds.
I know.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm
You
just
just
saying.
said what fraud teams made the playoffs in the
But
NFC.
I'm just saying.
That's 2 of them.
But I'm saying someone fraudulent was coming out of that NFC West. It was either gonna, and unfortunately for me, not for me because I'm not a Cardinals fan, but unfortunately, the Cardinals didn't have their starting quarterback. I'm sorry, I can't ignore that. I understand they should have won the games and they controlled their own fate. I understand that, but at the same time, all they had to do was win.
Logan Ryan said it.
And then your quarterback can't play.
Logan Ryan said it. You can't be mad at just the Eagles when we only won 5 games.
But I don't think the Cardinals are mad at anybody. The Cardinals went into there. They knew they had to win,
Probably mad at themselves.
and
For
they
being
got
frauds.
their starting quarterback got hurt. You can't predict that.
All right. Can we just move on to the other
We'll move,
frauds?
fine. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Talk
Jared Goff.
Okay.
Jared Goff is a fraud.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
been
I
to that.
feel like that's fair.
It was the system, not Jared Goff. That's why they were so potent the last few years on offense.
Jared Goff fraud watch.
All right. Seahawks defense fraud watch.
Oh,
I can't trust these
absolutely.
niggas.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
no,
That
no.
defensive coordinator is stealing money. How he has not been fired.
$1,400. That's all I gotta say.
And that's and listen, we
And
know
they may
how we
not
feel
have,
about
and
black coaches.
they
but
may not
Jesus
have Jamal
Christ.
Adams for the playoffs.
Yeah,
You got
because shoulder.
Yep.
Shoulder's
got that
fucked
shoulder
up.
injury.
Crazy.
All right.
Oh man, who else is on Fraud Watch? Let's see.
I don't trust the
The
Bucks.
fucking Raiders.
Wait.
John Gruden is on Fraud Watch, yo.
The way the people was talking about them the first half of the season.
That
Oh, why did they have to go for 2?
Fraud Watch.
Fraud Watch
How'd
is real,
they
bro.
finish?
They finished. I'll tell you right now.
Oh my God, 2-6 at home. So much for, so much for fucking so much for Allegiant Stadium.
You know what's crazy?
They finished 3-5. They started 5-3.
I think their problem is also the same problem that the what do you call it? The Seahawks had
Tell you what, it's not Derek Carr's fault.
with the defense. That defense lost them so many. Yes,
Yeah.
Gruden lost that Dolphins game for not
Going for the touchdown.
for not going for the touchdown.
But under most circumstances, that win what had happened would have won him the game.
Yes. But you secure it with
The touchdown.
and then you can't. It's not John Gruden's fault that your defense doesn't want to. Your defense want to rip Ryan Fitzpatrick's helmet halfway off and then not cover the wide receiver down the field. It's a defense. Defense lost him a lot of games this year. Can't blame Derek Carr. Derek Carr played
Not
really,
Derek
really well
Carr's
this
fault.
year. Darren Waller played really well. Nelson Aguilar basically revived his career this year.
Yep.
You have Josh Jacobs. It was nothing to do with the offense.
I really
scored-
think Derek Carr needs to change the scenery.
Hold on. Yo, fewest fantasy points by any defensive special teams in a single season.
Ever?
The Raiders?
Jesus Christ.
Their defense special teams finished with 11 fantasy points.
They don't do it. They don't they don't force turnovers. And what do you call it? And it was interesting because what is it? Abram. Jonathan Abram.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
in and
He
out.
was hurt in and out, on and off the COVID list. You know, remember that game where they only had like 5 offensive linemen because half the other offensive linemen were on the COVID list?
Yep.
Like,
That's a fact. Josh Jacobs had a 1,000-yard season with 12 touchdowns. I mean,
the problems are not on offense. It's clearly defense. I
Yeah.
think if they change up their defensive, well, they did fire the defensive coordinator after the what was that? The one loss.
maybe the Colts game. It was either the Colts or the Jets.
Yes,
game.
the Colts game.
Colts game.
Colts
yeah.
game. Yes, they fired him after that. So, maybe I'm not ready to write the book off on Gruden yet. I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's mid. But
You are what your record says you
are
are.
as record says you are. So, yep.
Any surprises from the season?
Justin Herbert. I got to give that man
Yeah.
his flowers. For a rookie to come out and hoop the way that he hooped. I mean, granted, he was in a situation where he had Keenan Allen.
But still, he was dealing. I don't think anyone expected him to deal like that.
Keenan Allen,
that's
Mike
fair.
Williams, Hunter Henry. I mean,
Eckler was out most of the season,
Eckler was
so you
out
can't-
most of the
but
season.
still, like to
that's how you help your rookie quarterback. You
Yep.
give him weapons.
This man had 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, bro.
even play all season.
And he didn't play the first 2 games. He played the first game that he played was against he missed 1 game.
I mean, I know it's messed up to say, but I think the best thing to happen was that nigga that doctor
violating
puncturing
Tyrod.
Tyrod.
It's a setup. Justin Herbert was the doctor from Florida. That's who did it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The dude who's been pretending to be a doctor. He just got arrested for
that
doing
kid
it again.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
the black dude.
The glass. He just got arrested again for that shit.
Again?
Yes.
Yeah. You're supposed to be back on social media now, Doug.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Nature, but you know why? Nature is healing. Nature is healing. If that's happening again,
Wow.
nature is healing.
That's crazy.
Josh Allen. I don't think anyone came out for it, but it just shows what having a one wide receiver does.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah.
I was very against them for the first 8 weeks of the season. I was like, nope, he's getting carried by the defense. When the defense was
The offense wasn't that. No, the defense wasn't even that great in the beginning of the
defense
season.
wasn't even that great, but it was better than what the offense was. But then they kicked it into high gear, and then there's a case for Josh Allen in the MVP. I don't think he's not going to get
He's
it.
not going to
No.
get it.
But
But
you
he
can make a
definitely.
case.
You can make.
I might make the case for Stephon Diggs. Fuck that.
You get a vote. He has to get a vote.
Yeah, he's got to get a vote.
Somebody got to vote for him on some shit. Because I feel like, and I hate to say it, but Rodgers is probably going to win it at this point. But John, you want to talk about how if there was a most improved player in the NFL,
Josh Allen.
it's Josh Allen
Gotta
hands
be.
down.
Yep.
You make your you got to get you got the nigga a receiver, but for your completion percentage to jump 10 points, that doesn't happen in the NFL, yo.
Oh, how I want us to draft Devontae Smith.
So do I.
Y'all not getting that man.
I want that.
But yeah,
And he blocks. Ugh.
Nigga, John's out here.
Yeah, I know. He's fucking orgasming and shit right next to me.
Hopefully he's better than this last crop of Alabama wide receivers. They were
Yeah.
kind of mid this season. CD, Judy.
Well, CD didn't have a quarterback.
First off, CD's not
Neither of them.
Alabama.
No.
Neither of them had a quarterback.
CD is
Not
not-
CD. Sorry, not CD.
Judy, Ruggs.
Judy and Ruggs, yep.
Ruggs.
Ruggs was shaky,
Judy didn't have Drew Lock for a couple games, and it was just like never got going.
but he wasn't. He was dropping some passes.
He was dropping some passes.
CD drops a lot of passes for some reason.
And then he'll make a one spectacular one, then make everyone forget.
I fuck with
but
CD.
in the Giants
He had
win,
one-
he had a big drop
in the middle of the field.
right in the middle of the field.
Yeah. What's it called?
But yeah, no, Josh Allen definitely most improved. I mean, getting Stephon Diggs led the league in receptions. Shout out to him for being on my fantasy team.
John's gonna hate this one, but the Buccaneers.
For a
what?
surprise?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, nah.
There's
I think
no way
so.
you can say
How
that
are
you're
you just
I
surprised?
didn't
People
think they
were
was-
people
you-
pegged them into the fucking Super Bowl and the NFC Conference Championships
Yeah,
at
what?
the
I
beginning of the
feel
season.
like- I feel like
How is
that-
that a surprise? They
I feel-
underperformed, if
I-
anything.
You still feel like they underperformed
Yes.
at 11-5? Nah, no way.
Yes, the way niggas was talking, they were gonna go like
Bro.
13-3 and win the division.
Nah, so, they actually finished the game under the Colts, Saints. I feel like from where they were in the
Exactly.
And
middle
that's
of
when
the
the Saints didn't have Drew Brees for like what 4 games.
Yeah, and
they
who'd
won
they
all
lose
those
to?
games too. They lost to they lost to the
right.
Saints twice.
Maybe running backs can be quarterbacks just if they're the right skin complexion.
Wow. From where they were in the middle of the season, I did not think they was gonna finish 11-5.
After the Saints game was what really told me about what the Buccaneers were going to be this season.
you since the beginning.
Because them getting blown out when they went down 28 points in that second quarter with the first quarter, which I was still upset I didn't
clapped
take.
them.
They
I'm
smoked
so
them.
upset I didn't take pick
I don't
six
know.
money line that day.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but what's it called?
Yeah, I can't say
Other-
that they're a surprise.
I don't know. To me,
They lost to the Bears. They
Lost to-
lost to the Rams.
They lost to the Bears, Rams, the thing twice. And
Yeah, we had them on as the thing, 4th down.
Bro, people was fucking out here. The way you can't say they're surprised because the way people was giving them the Super Bowl.
I wasn't giving them the Super Bowl. That's why for me maybe it was a surprise.
Yeah, fuck them. Frauds, the Seahawks,
Yeah.
We already said that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At 12-4, the fuck I can't believe
the
this.
worst 12 and 14.
I can't.
not a
I
good-
can't believe they're 12-4, bro. I can't believe it. I really don't. Like,
It's funny because
They're not good.
the Steelers can fall into both surprise and fraud category.
yeah, isn't that
Isn't
some
that
shit?
shit crazy?
Can they?
The
For the
Yeah,
surprise? I mean, I thought they were going to be a playoff team. I didn't.
Yeah, but you also didn't think they were going to start the way they did.
I didn't.
You were on an apology tour. So
I
that's-
was. And then
So that was the surprise part, and then it was the fraud part
Then I quickly
after.
snatched it back
Yeah. Because they're frauds.
Corvette.
I'm not gonna lie. The
That
Texans,
song's
the
dead in my
Texans-
head all the time now.
The Texans finishing 4-12. I feel like that was not.
Niggas out here bunny hopping on the midfield logo.
Yeah, the Texans. Yeah, but the way their offseason went, we just knew it wasn't going
But
to go well.
it's still from going
4-12 is
to a
wild.
playoff team to going 4-12.
Nah.
Dog, that is not it.
Was
I
it
mean-
a conference championship a couple years ago? Not conference.
Division.
Nah, they division
yeah.
against the last year against the Chiefs when they blew the 24-point lead. But no, I mean,
Billy O.
but you see, but you kind of saw it coming though. I don't think you saw 4-12, but you lose DeAndre Hopkins, right? Then look at who they started off against.
Bro,
They had
well,
the-
yeah, that's-
they did not get
Yeah,
any
they
favors at
scheduled-
all.
they not help.
Their schedule was fucking crazy.
Chiefs,
bro.
Packers,
Forget D Hop.
Steelers.
Forget D Hop though. He don't really need D Hop. And I think that's like you saw what he did this season with Will Fuller.
Yeah,
and
we
Will-
just-
Wait, time out.
I don't
He
think Will
doesn't
Ferrell.
need D-Hop?
I don't think Will Ferrell. He doesn't need.
he does not need D
He
Hop.
does
I mean,
not
the team
need.
need. Well, for him to get stats, yes, for wins, because what they lost that Bears game because the nigga dropped the wide open touchdown pass, right?
Yeah, but
Like-
you can still just replace him with a better receiver that isn't necessarily D Hop, and then most likely that guy's gonna.
I'm just
catch
saying.
it.
Where's that guy
all right,
coming
let me ask
from?
you something. 4-12 with
Yeah.
D Hop this season. If the season goes exactly as scheduled, like how many more wins do they have?
I think
I think 3.
9.
What?
3 or 4.
You think D Hop gives them that much wins?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because of what
Possession receiver.
the magnitude of what he
What?
brings in offense and how you have to game plan around. You can't rush as much because you need an extra guy in coverage to guard him. You can't drop as many people. Like
You think they go from 4? I don't think that's
I
facts.
think it just changes up a lot of things.
I just don't think that's facts.
And then mind you, he still lost. What do you call it?
Well,
Did he
Fuller-
lose Fuller for the last 6
Fuller's
games of the
not a
season?
1.
He's not a 1.
No.
He's a great number 2.
Deshaun had him hooping like a 1 though.
I think the Vikings fraud. 10-6 last year to 7-9 this year.
Uh,
But we've known We have known.
I mean, I've been saying Kirk
We've
Cousins
known
is
about
ass
Kirk.
forever.
Same.
But that's the thing. Like, it's not a big enough drop where it's like, eh.
Well,
I mean,
it was
they're-
looking
they're-
real bad at the beginning of the season, though.
because
It
you're
was-
always a play away or two from being
Yeah.
like from 10-6 to like 8-8.
Yeah,
you know,
but
so.
but it was looking real bad for them at the beginning of the season.
Oh,
See,
yeah,
I
but then
feel
they
like-
turned up. But then they're like the opposite of the Cardinals because they ended up turning up in the second half of the season.
I think the biggest surprise is my sleeper team being 10-6 and not making the playoffs. Like, I mean, the Dolphins should be in the playoffs, but they're not. That's a surprise. I mean, I knew they were going to be good. I just didn't think that I thought they were going to make playoffs.
Well, we also didn't know if Tua was going to start this year at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
We have to give another year of Tua. I think.
I think they're a wild card team next year.
At
it's
least
fair.
a black man in the NFL has job security right now.
Yep. Brian
That,
Flores.
that's all I can be happy for. The Titans actually improved. Isn't that
Hey,
something?
wait, Mike
The
Tomlin's got job
Titans
security.
were fucking wild.
Mike Tomlin- Mike
The
Tomlin-
Titans are.
Mike Tomlin
oof.
does have job
Me
security.
and Tyler had a conversation about football.
I don't think they're frauds, but I don't
Yes.
think they're surprised. They're
Yeah.
right where they
No,
should
no,
be.
No, I don't think they're as good as they were last year.
The Titans?
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think they're good,
Defensively, absolutely.
but I
not.
wouldn't call them a fraud for that. I think they took a little bit step down, but they're
Yeah, I
right
wouldn't call them
around
a
where they
fraud.
are.
I wasn't saying they're fraud.
I think they are.
I wasn't saying they're frauds for real. I was
They
just
are
saying
who we thought they were.
11-5 is just OD. I mean, the Browns being 11-5. I mean, we knew they were going to improve. Did we think that they were going to improve that much?
And without Odell winning all those games, that's big.
Yes.
I like the Browns. I'm happy for them.
All right.
I just hate that they lost to the Jets on the COVID game because I think really they should have won the division.
Yeah, that's really all I got. Everything else is kind of like, okay, Chiefs 14-2. Am I surprised? No. Packers being as good as they are, not really surprised. Saints.
Packers defense fraud watch because the defense looked great last year and this year they looked.
Yeah, but I mean, Aaron
Who do you wanna pull up?
Rodgers has proven like he can overcome that.
And
I mean-
Devontae Adams just reminded everyone who he was.
I will say them losing David Bakhtiari
Yeah,
that's a big blow. That's
I'm pulling for Buccaneers Chiefs Super Bowl. That's
Yuck.
what I want to see.
That's disgusting.
yeah.
That's
You
what
want
I-
to see the Buccaneers in the mid-ass Buccaneers in the Super Bowl?
I want Bruce Arians
Yep.
to be successful.
Are
I don't
you
want Tom
kidding
Brady
me?
to be
Nope,
successful.
I'm not kidding. I wish I was
if
kidding.
they come out at the NFC, I'm going to be tight.
I would like.
I would
That's a
be-
first round loss to me.
I would
Who are they
be-
playing first round?
Washington, they're not losing.
No, they're
to
not
Washington.
losing to
That's how I know
They're not
Miles
losing
ain't
to
pro
Washington.
black because I'm rooting for Chiefs Seahawks.
Chiefs Seahawks.
Yeah.
Fuck Russ. Doesn't cost me way too many parlays this season, bro.
See, told you not pro black.
First off, you don't get me started about Russell Wilson, bro. Sierra's husband. I don't like that guy.
Nah, someone did.
He's half white, so I don't fuck.
You see, Sierra put up a some video of her dancing to something, and some girl quoted it and was like, "See, Sierra, this is why you keep ending up pregnant." And I'm like, "That's facts, yo."
I would not pull out either.
Nigga, Russ dead be coming back every game. They're like, damn. Like, what do you got to pull out for? For no reason.
Bum ass Seahawks. I hate these niggas. Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for us here at Regrown. Follow us at Saratobi Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure to go check out the YouTube channel, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you're listening on one platform, whatever your preferred platform is, we most likely there. And yeah, I mean, follow me at Offended Narwhal on Twitter. Watch One Piece. Go do that. And yeah, y'all gonna hate me next week if the Ravens win, guys.
Holla at your boy. All right. What's it called? Y'all can follow me on the gram, I guess. WorldWideWest_11. There's no guarantee that I'm gonna follow you back, but whatever. I'm, cool. Black Lives Matter, and make sure y'all wear protection. It's scary out here, y'all. And by that I mean a mask and gloves and PPE.
Take those gloves as you will.
No
Wow.
glove, no love.
Yikes. No, you
Hand
can have
gloves.
love.
You definitely can have
You
love.
can have love. Just Sax Von Miller. Anyway, so yeah, I guess with that, yeah, I got nothing to plug. Tip your local bartenders and waitresses and delivery drivers. Well, actually, no, not bartenders and waitresses, because Cuomo probably going to shut this shit down any day now. So yeah, delivery drivers and Black Lives Matter, and nematodes are people too.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got